Hello and good morning to you. This is Cliff Graves from Train Well Boxing. I hope everyone is having a lovely rest today, a lovely bank holiday, enjoying the weather. It is fantastic here in the Exeter area. We were considering, my wife and myself and the dog, going to nearby Teignmouth down at the coast. That's about 6 miles from us, but it'd be heaving. Just unpleasant for the dog. So anyway, if you got your cuppa, sit back and relax, because we have been beavering away designing an innovative 12-week fight camp. Now, this is designed at the fighters that do have a level of fitness. I'm not going to go into all of it here, so don't worry. It will be ready for you to be downloaded, all lovely and nice, free of charge. You say, why are you doing it free of charge? Why aren't you charging? Because we can make our money in different ways. That's how Train Well Boxing have always operated and will continue to. We don't have to, think we got to sell this training course system to you or anything like that, which is quite ridiculous, to be honest with you. Because the same people that are selling these cookie cutter programs then turn around and say to you, yeah, but it's all got to be individualized. What they're doing, folks, is they're showcasing their knowledge, to put it bluntly, but they're asking you to pay for it. And this is where Train Well Boxing is the difference. We are showcasing our experience, and we're ex-boxers. Not to the elite level, professional level, no. But I could have gone professional, but then stuff started going wrong with the mince pies and all sorts of things happened in my life that prevented that. But I soon began to realise there's a lot of professionals out there, boxers, journeymen. We just see the elite. I think, oh wow, I want that. I could drive that Bentley around. Don't ever be envious. Just be proud and happy for the elite that are right there. But yeah, what I'm saying is they say, here I'll do this and here I'll do that, because they want to wheedle their way in to your team. Get in there and stake their claim and then earn a lot of money from you. And what we're saying at Train Well Boxing is you can sidestep those leeches. You can, because that's all they are. Half of them aren't even boxers. Half of them haven't even put a gunshot in their mouth or put on the gloves, let alone get into the square ring. So what authority are they to give advice on how a boxer should train? Do they know the emotions that a boxer, fighter goes through? Do they know the emotional energy that gets drained from a fighter, can get drained from a fighter? Do they know any of those emotions and feelings? No, they don't. This is why train world boxing are superior. Because we know it. We've lived it. We've breathed it. I've had my nose broken. Look at that. Look. Look. Look at that. Look how flat that is. Look. Look how flat that is. That is one flat nose, right? Look. The proof is in the pudding. Look at it. That's because it's been bent a lot of times. But the cut eyes, the scars are there. We know it is to be whacked straight into the breadbasket, wherever it is, where it's onto the solar plexus, whether it's into the liver, whether it's into the floating rib. We know. We know what it is to take an bang right on there. Right on there, just below the ear. Bang. We know what it is. Bang. We've experienced it. We've experienced the early morning runs in the rain, in the hail. We've experienced the van turning up to take you off to some absolute dive of a place. I can't describe some of them anymore. Boys Club, and it's their show, and you're going for a return fight to get your revenge on somebody. We know all those feelings. We know all those emotions. We know what it is to gas, and you're holding on like that, and you are super, I won't use swear words, fudged. And you're trying your best, and they're getting, and just for pride, because you do not want to be stopped. You do not want to have that on your record, RSC, second round or something like that. You just do not want it there. And your nose is bleeding, and you get 57-60, 57-60, 57-60. Loss, unanimous. We know all about that. Do they? Do they? There are some boxers, right, that can attest to that. But honestly, folks, I don't know how they can get away with it. Some of these characters within boxing, and cleverly and shrewdly, because they get paid a lot of money. When all the purse starts getting shared out, they're licking their lip, yeah. Million to you. Oh, that's the mortgage paid. Oh, that's the nice house I got. I guarantee you something. Train well boxing are not in that category. We are not trying to wheedle our way into anything of that description. Any advices that we give you are free, right from here, right from the heart. Because we don't want to give you a load of old rubbish, because we're trying to build our brand. So how foolhardy would that be to give you a load of old rubbish? Oh, we're building our brand, but we're building our brand, excuse my French, as a bunch of tossers. We don't want that. We want to build our brand that we are fair, that we've got some knowledge in the game. Give them credence. They've got some knowledge in the game, train or boxing. Give them credence. They certainly love the sport, respect the sport, and that's what we want. Okay, so I need you to understand that, where we're coming from. I know it's taken a little bit of time, but I need you to really get to grips with that and understand that where I'm coming from. And I think the mistakes some of these people make is, plyometrics is the secret elixir to getting a boxer springy and all this and all that. I've never heard so much balderdash in all my days. Jumping off a box, also known as AKA the depth jump. you could have a once fit, uninjured fighter that will screw themselves over doing that. Do we wrap people up in cotton wool? No. And we're not saying that. We're not saying that. Should you jump on to a platform, a raised platform, even if it is one of these big cushion things? Should you do that? No. Let me tell you why you shouldn't be doing that. Because you're concentrating on landing, right? Bang. And you're concentrating and jumping up to get on that thing. And unless your form is impeccable, you run the risk of injury. When you're jumping up onto a box, right, you have got to make sure that your landing is impeccable. Impeccable. You've got to make sure that your feet are underneath your knees. You've got to make sure that your hips are level, not tilted one side, up or down. Because if you do that, what happens is when you go look into view the pelvis, right down the bottom of the spine is where the sacrum is. That diamond bit, just above where your coccyx bone is. Right, almost center in the middle of the pelvis. This bit that goes shaped into a diamond bit. And if you're off a bit, then you can put out your sacral iliac joint, which is the two little joints either side. You have got to get exactly the correct degrees of exercise form. You have got to. Because if you don't, as you begin to fatigue, you run the risk of injury. And I'm 60 years old. Look at my boat race, you can tell. But look at the wisdom I've got. Yeah. I've seen it. Not just in boxing. I've seen people jack themselves up. So, what happened to you? I saw this guy 3 weeks ago now. He was an instructor doing all this showing off because it's a mixed gym. And yeah, you do show off if the other sex are pretty young girls looking over you. It does help you, I must admit. But anyway, this geezer was definitely showing off. Definitely showing off. I see him about 3-4 days ago. Got the shorts on so you could see. And he had all his right knee strapped up. I said, what's up with your knee? What happened? He said, it's just a little injury. Because I haven't seen you in there much. Always in there when I went in there. Always. He said, no, I've just been messing up the knees. Oh, dear. Do you know what caused that? He said, well, I think so. I said, go on. He said, well, it was that jumping up onto the box. I said, but you seem to be doing all right at it. He said, yeah, well, there you go. It just doesn't take much, does it? I said, evidently. This is why I'm telling you to stay the FUCK away from plyometrics. So the argument is, yeah, but then how do you get springy legs? You don't want to be like a gorilla. You want to be like a kangaroo. Well, are you missing something? Skipping. And I'm not talking about Jump, 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 jump. I am talking about Mike Tyson skipping. I'm talking about Roberto Duran skipping. I'm talking about Sugar Ray Leonard skipping. I'm talking about Marvin Hagler skipping. I am talking about Rocky Marciano skipping. I'm talking about Muhammad Ali skipping. Take your pick. Skipping. What is skipping? Do you think? Jumping. What do you what think about it? What muscles are working? Your ankle muscles, your calf muscles. Where's the spring and the punches? Moving it. Skipping. Skipping will cancel out all plyometrics. They are just not needed in any way, shape, or form. Skipping. And skip, if you're getting good at it, get better at it. From recent years, you've got to look at Mike Tyson skipping. What a master. What a master. Right down low, crouching, doing the Cossack thing. And it was like this. Doubles and all that, unders. That type of skipping I'm talking about. There's your plyometrics. Done, dusted, over with, finished. The other thing is where these fitness trainers that get on board with strength and conditioning for boxers. Don't know a lot about MMA, but MMA is a lot of grappling. There's subtle differences there. Subtle differences. But yeah, you know, I mean, you can cancel out all of your press-ups, all of your burpees, all of your squat thrusts, all of them. Throw them on the trash heap because they are not needed. So we've talked about plyometrics. The only format of plyometrics I would recommend would be skipping. But like I said to you, might have thought, is this package? I am talking about getting at that. You know, boxers know what I mean. They're not. That's the sound of the skipping rope hitting the floor. Hello there, Bill. All right, mate. Yeah, oh, yeah. Mrs. okay, yeah. It's getting the old sweatsuit on, getting the headphones on, really going at it. Like Mike Tyson. Go and watch Mike Tyson videos and you'll know what I'm talking about. In his prime. There's your plyometrics sorted, right? The next thing we got to look at is, yeah, but you said don't do press-ups. Yeah, don't do them. They're good. I'm not saying they're good. I'm not saying burpees aren't good. I'm not saying squat thrusts aren't good, but they are not necessary. What are you trying to achieve when you do the press-ups? What are you trying to achieve? You're trying to increase upper body strength. Now, depending on where you train, I can't tell you that, can I? But dependent on where you train, you may well have already at your disposal a lot of really, really good resistance training apparatus. The dual cable column thing, what a little gem that is. If you're an elite boxer, and you've got millions on the next fight, do you think you could invest? Do you think your promoters, your managers would say that's a good investment for the gym to invest in one of these? I think they range from about $6,000 to the real Rolls Royce ones about 10 grand. Cheap as chips to think what they can do for you. There you are, you're pressing out. You're in a seat and you're pressing out. You're pressing out. You're pressing out. You're emulating the press up. You're pressing out. Pressing out. You can progress it as you get stronger and stronger and stronger. What about your lower limb? So would I advocate cable column? No. So what do you do for your lower limb? You've got to be brutal and heavy with lower limb training. And I mean really brutal. You've got to be savage, but intelligent. So you don't, oh, you know, but it's a barbell and weight plates. Now, I'm sort of like talking to you on a level now of an elite athlete, team, whoever you want to think about. I would hope that you would also have, alongside your dual cable column, you would have a good power cage. So you could have two other helpers spotting either end, but you're in that power cage, you know, the one with the safety rails, and get into a Zercher squat and perform front squats. Now, here's where you can make it really interesting. Get hold of chains, chains, chains that you can add to the barbell. When you go down in the Zercher squat, there's your Zercher squat. A lot of people go like that because they can't get their elbows out. But as soon as you go like that, you put your arms into external rotation. Your boxers all internal, external. Hold the barbell in the crook of your elbows. If I can do it, ex-boxer, 60 years old, I'm damn sure you can. Get your weight, chosen weight, get your chains on there, and bang, descend, break the knees, ascend upward, break the knees, ascend upward, break the knees, ascend upward. It's as simplistic as that. Any duffer could grab that very, 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 very quickly, what is expected of them. It gets hard because you're introducing the chains. So when you're in the down position, the chains, most of the chains are on the floor, aren't they? All raveled up. As soon as you start to go up, power up explosively as fast as you can, the chains are unraveling, making it harder and harder and harder. So guess what? There's less risk of you jolting the knees. You should never go into full extension anyway when you're doing squats anyway. Just leave it literally almost to full extension, but not to full extension. But as you're going up, it is increasing. The weight is called accommodating resistance, and it is fantastic specifically for lower body strength. The seated good morning, where you seat, straddle a seat, get the barbell, you got your two team members either end, you're in the power cage, you've got it all set up right for you, you've got the right weight on, you've got even a weight training belt on there, with absolute precision form, down you go, you bend over, you're trying to aim your belly button, keep your chest proud, you're trying to aim that belly button to go flat on the bench. But don't go past your range of motion on this one, right? And you will feel, if you have your legs wide out, spread your legs out, try it, and you will feel an immense stretch in your hamstrings like never before. And the third one is some form of calf raise. There's your 3 exercises. That's it, you're done. You're done. You're cooked. When you go out into the sun, when you're done, aren't you? If you're being sensible about it, aren't you? You don't remain out in the sun, do you? When you're done, because what happens? You burn. It's the same with strength training. Once you're done, you are done. Finish. Get out of the gym. We split. You can tell that we split twice a week strength training. That's all that's needed. It's all that's needed, right? The upper body side of it is slightly more involved because there's more muscle groups. You've got the deltoids, you've got the arms, you've got the bicep, you've got the chest, you've got the lats, you've got the traps. And don't think that all these Olympic lifts are gonna hack it with you, because again, they're too technical. One mistake. Can you imagine the disappointment? I will name the gentleman, and I thoroughly respect the gentleman. So there's no it's all good. It's all good. So it's not meant to be insulting or anything like that in whatever way. How do you think Frank Warren would feel if I was so-and-so's strength and conditioning coach and I got them doing Olympic snatches? He'd be, what's up? Look at that, tough. They ping their back. What do you think Frank Warren's going to say to me, and the manager's going to say to me? What do you think they're going to say to you? You're finished. You're finished in this game. Get out before I knock you out or get somebody to knock you out. Get out. No. It's too risque. It's too risque. Yes, there are compound movements that we adopt here at Trainwheel Boxing, yes. But most of it is isolation work. Because if you're doing a bench press, you want to target your pectoral muscles, which when you're doing a bent arm, what's happening there? What do you think? You tell me. What muscles are working? Yeah, all the arm muscles, shoulder, the back, the lats, yeah. Is the chest not coming into it? Do you think? Of course it is. So you can be doing the bench press and the stronger muscles will take over and you just don't get any stimulus where you are trying to train it. Upper body is classified as performance exercise. So we would do everything to enhance a boxer's power, from looking at stability of the shoulder joint. It's no good having every time. Did any of you remember Danny Williams? He beat the late, very sad Mark Potter, who I thought was a right decent fighter, to be honest with you. Very Sadly, he is no longer with us. But anyway, Williams beat him, but he had dislocated a shoulder. Because you have to work shoulder integrity. There's a lot you've got to work, isn't there? You don't need the plyometrics all in there, do you? All that nonsense in there. The boxer's got too much to do. So we will give you all of that, show you all of that. So next, what does a boxer need? A boxer needs his mainstay. 10% should be strength training, 90%. 10% should be other conditioning. 80% should be skills work, bag work, conditioning contained around the sport. So you could have an interval training, skipping, bag work. This is what we used to do at our gym: skipping, bag work, speed ball, onto the pads, onto the wall bag, back round to skipping. You know what I mean? You could even put the shadow boxing in there. So you've got 6 different elements. Well, if you're training for a fight, you'll have your coach, the guy that steps in the ring with you and says, "Use joint." Oh yeah, what we did in the gym. Bang! He'll be on the pads there, or he might even get a pad man, and he's watching. Keep doing that. What I told you to do. Watching and looking and viewing and all the rest of it. That's your mainstay. Sparring, absolutely, your mainstay. But if you're training for a fight, you've got to be clever. You've got to be cute with it. Because the last thing you want to do is have a hard sparring session 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, or whatever from a fight, and a mistake happens. This is where the professionalism comes into the sport, which a lot of people don't appreciate and don't understand. And these fitness instructors especially don't understand. So that is our offer. We are going to give you something exemplary very, very soon for free. There are no ties to it whatsoever. You'll have to download it, admittedly, because how can I get it out to you other than through the internet? So you'll have to download it, and then you can look at it. And if you don't like it, well, it becomes part of the fire, doesn't it? But you might well learn some very, very, very useful tips, some very, very innovative ways of doing it that are going to keep your fighter fresh, going to keep your fighter ready, injury free, but most importantly, free. Okay, so went a little bit over, almost 30 minutes, but I hope you're enjoying these lectures. They're lectures. They're not meant for entertainment. They're meant for education purposes. And I'll speak to you again soon. This is Cliff Graves from Train More Boxing. See you later. Ciao.